Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have another pair of Salomon boots for review, and this time it is much requested. Very much requested. Salomon Guardian Combat Tactical Military Boots. And let me tell you guys, typically I am very strict, I guess would be the word, very harsh on boots of this type most of the times, because of the purpose. Obviously, these are made for the military personnel, for the servicemen. So if there are little things that I don't like, I will make it as loud, as noticeable as possible, because whenever manufacturers make boots for the military, that's a huge responsibility that you're taking on, right? Okay, the boots, they have to be as good as they can be. All right, just throwing it out there. And these I am very impressed with. Literally pretty much everything, the comfort level, the lacing system, the outsole. I don't really have pretty much any complaints. All right, so if you don't have time to watch the whole review and you just want to go ahead and buy them, here's some reinforcements for you. Go ahead and buy them. There are a few things that I would like for you to know, so if you can stick around for the whole review, definitely do. But if you don't, great boots, currently $159 on Amazon. The link is in the description below, so if you want to help me out, use the link, and you will pay the same price that you would pay without the link, but I would get a little bit of the percentage from it. So thank you very much if you do that. I really appreciate it. And if you do want to support me even more, there's a Patreon link in the description below. Please support me there as well. So let's start the review. As some of you already know, this review specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section. Yes, if this weren't just these are really not regular boots. These are the epitome of the survival boots, right? These are the combat military tactical boots. So obviously the situations that you will be in, they are the survival situations. So you need to have good boot for them, right? But let's say if you were a regular civilian like myself, sitting in your house and something bad happened and you had these boots. You put them on and you had to run out of your house, travel for long distance, run, climb, fight, do whatever is necessary to survive. Would these be good to survive in? Well, let's start the review. 8 criteria we make the judgment on. The very first criterion is the comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the shoes and boots that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run, non-stop, and then a 5-mile walk, again non-stop. Right after the run, the total wear time, about 8 hours. When I'm done with the run, with the walk, I continue wearing the boots for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is about 8 hours. So there are a few factors that contribute and take away from the comfort level typically. Let's start with the first one, is the weight. And this is size 10. And let's see exactly how light or heavy the size 10 is. Full size boot, I'm expecting it to be pretty heavy, on the heavier side for sure. 23.8. There we go, 23.8. So definitely on the heavier side. Obviously with the full size shaft, very bulky outsole. Obviously all the construction, all the materials are designed to protect you. Obviously will be on the heavier side. Let's talk a little bit about the numbers. If you're looking for something that is lightweight, as light as it can be, you're looking for something that is under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce it is, the lighter it is. 23 is not bad. It's only 3 ounce over 20. So it's definitely on the heavier, on the bulkier side, but still not that bad. Whenever I was running, definitely I did feel a little bit of, fatigue from the weight at about 1.5 miles, 2 miles, but not too terribly bad. And there are a few reasons why. First of all, the outsole. The outsole is surprisingly flexible in this boot. It's just flexible enough to run properly without putting any stress on your ankles, on your knees. There's another thing that helps with the run, is the inner sole. Let me take out the inner sole and I'll show you exactly what I am talking about. As you can see, this is a standard Salomon inner sole. Nothing crazy over here. Decent cushioning. Very nicely shaped. As you can see, there's a good heel bed, there's a good arch support, there are some holes in it to give you good breathability. So good inner sole. But once you remove it, you still have another layer of that blue jelly cushioning that Salomon uses in a lot of their boots, and it helps a lot a lot. So overall, with the inner sole, with that jelly cushioning, you do get very nice impact protection whenever you're running. Definitely helps, all right? Now, the padding. Not much, but there is some in the tongue. There is some in the shaft. This is very soft, nice material. I like it a lot. When you go inside, it's pretty soft over here throughout the whole tongue, but the toe box is pretty tough. So I recommend, to improve the comfort level of these boots, I recommend some nice thick socks that will give you some extra cushioning, all right? And make sure to get these boots half a size bigger, but we'll talk about, in the sizing, we'll talk a little bit later, but very important for the comfort level. Overall, pretty good. Now, there are a few problems with creasing. Whenever this crease right here, as you can see, it does create a pressure point on your toe, but over time, with a break-in, it will be better. Usually, I'm not a fan of the break-in period. I like everything out of the box, comfortable. But here, just because there's really no design pattern or anything, this is just part of the process. So, unfortunately, you will have to deal with it if you're going with these boots, with this break-in period for, depending on how long you wear it throughout the day. If you're wearing it every day for 8 hours, then I would say probably about 3-4 days, and it should be good. It should full mold around your, the crease here, and it should be good. But let's move on to the criteria number 2 now, proofing and protection. Now, this is not a waterproof version, all right? I honestly kind of wish that Salomon implemented in the non-waterproof version only drainage holes somewhere along the main body, just so that if you do get wet, if you do step in a puddle, if you're crossing the creek or something like that, you have that drainage for the ventilation or for the water to get out so that they dry faster. Just in the non-waterproof version. But if you do want a, complete waterproof version, there is actually a Salomon Guardian CSWP version, which is CS, I think it's ClimaSense waterproof version. Salomon's own waterproof technology, which is great. Never let me down in any other boots, Salomon boots. So keep that in mind if you do want a legit waterproof version. Here, however, you do get the tongue gusseting, and because there are really no holes, you do get that water resistance, so not bad at all. And as you can see, the gusseting goes all the way up, which is a huge plus. This is very, very smart. The only thing I would say is, if Salomon is using that here, they might as well make it waterproof, but this is not waterproof version, so kind of, the gusseting is sort of pointless in this version, but in CS waterproof version, it will be pretty good. Good because it utilizes pretty much the whole length of the shaft. That's really smart. Now, whenever it comes to the protection, you don't really have much in the toe. Obviously, the construction itself gives you a little bit of, protection here, but don't drop nothing heavy on it. This is not a composite toe or anything like that. Keep that in mind. You do get some protection in the ankles, of course, because of the shaft, protection in the heel, and because the outsole is so bulky, you do get plenty of protection from the bottom, so keep that in mind. Let's move on to the criteria number 3 now, quality and the design features. Now, quality-wise, these boots are very popular. Across the internet, they have very, very high ratings, very good reviews. On Amazon, the link is in the description below. Not a lot of reviews. I guess people are not buying them from Amazon for whatever reason. Maybe because not Amazon selling them, somebody else selling them. But overall, pretty good rating as well. And if you have any experience with these boots, drop them in the comments below. It will be very helpful. Design features, usually here I talk about the lacing system. Here, as you can see, all of them are closed hooks, and this is very unique, I would say. For tactical, combat, military boots, most of the times you will find closed hooks, and you want it to be that way. The only problem with it is that it takes time to put them on and take them off because they're closed hooks, but when you are in a situation, you don't worry about accidentally, the string coming off the open hook and then you tripping over that string. You don't want that to happen. So here, it's proper, okay? So 4 pairs of close hooks here, 4 pairs of different close hooks over here. Overall, the strings are great. They slide through very easily. It takes time to put them on and take them off, obviously because of all this, but not that bad. I would really like to see Salomon come up with a side zip version of these boots. That would be fantastic. And that's the one I would recommend, but not a big deal, all right? If you don't mind dealing with putting these boots off for, 5 minutes and take them off for 5 minutes, which is a long time for putting on a shoe, but if you are willing to deal with it, if you're used to it, it's not going to be a problem for you. So let's move on to the criteria number 4, another very important one: outsole traction and stability. Now, this outsole is amazing. This is really, really good. I love it. It's Conta Grip, which is a Salomon's technology for the outsole. Very, very good outsole. Great balance between aggression and flatness. Whenever I do the testing of all my boots and shoes, whenever I do the run and the walk, I do that on a variety of different surfaces. I go through asphalt, tarmac, dry sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, trail surface, concrete, rubber, marble tile, and even the rock wall that I have in my house. I tested these on everything, all right? And it performs great on pretty much everything because there's a good balance of aggression and flatness. These grooves are very aggressive, but overall, as you can see, it's flat. So when you walk or run through the sand, it does not dig in. Sand does not get stuck. You do have these ridges for climbing, for the rope, for the tree, whatever you're climbing. Now, on the rock wall, because they're bulky, of course, it's a little bit hard, but because of this grippy, non-slippery material, you do get a little bit of that hold that you would need. So nothing extreme, but basic climbing you can definitely do in this booth without any problems. Overall, pretty good. I do like them a lot. They're not slippery on marble, they're not slippery on tile. Thanks to this, they're not advertised as non-slip or oil resistant, but they are because of these grooves. They kind of like suck in on the marble and on the tile. Another thing that I wanted to mention here, if you are concerned with stealth, being quiet, this does not make any weird DJ scratching noise on the marble and tile when you walk through it. So pretty good overall with the outsole. I mean, Salomon, they know their outsole, so I had no doubt. Let's move on to the criteria number 5 now. It's the temperature. Now, temperature-wise, obviously this will be on the warmer side in hot weather because there is no drainage holes or ventilation holes or anything like that. But in the colder temperatures, obviously, I would recommend getting a CSWP version. Definitely get a waterproof version, 100% for cold weather, for snow. Now, for ice and snow, they would perform good on the snow. I would not recommend really anything for ice, honestly, unless it's specifically an ice boot with the spikes, with the metal spikes. It's not going to perform great on the ice, regardless, all right? But in the winter, in the cold temperatures, as long as you get the insulated socks and the waterproof version, you should be just fine. Let's move on to the criteria number 6 really quickly. It's the sizing. They do run true to the size, but get yourself half a size bigger. Very, very important to get half a size bigger. You don't want your toe to be touching on the inside of the toe box because you're going to get fatigued quick. Please don't. Make sure you get half a size bigger. You want that extra space in the toe box. Very important. Criteria number 7 now, the balance of application. So if this really were your ultimate survival boot, I mean, if you're in the military, if you are, in the service and you're considering these boots, that's what you're looking at. They will be a part of your survival situation. Would they be good? Honestly, just being completely honest, of hundreds of boots that are reviewed on my channel, across both of my channels. As you know, YouTube, I have been under attack by the YouTube on my other channel, which is at about 20,000 subscribers now. I'm not a fan whenever it comes to military combat boots in general of this type, right? Because most of the times the outsole is not good, the comfort is not good, it takes too long to put them on, take them off, the waterproofing is not good. It's just, I always had some kind of complaints. These military boots, of all the stuff that are reviewed in that department, in my experience, are definitely 100% in the top 5 of everything in that department that I have reviewed. The other boots that I would say come close in the comparison would be the Nair Tachyon. I'm sorry, not the Nair Tachyon. The Nair Tachyon are the light ones. The Nair Tanicus. That's the ones that give you the ultimate amount of protection and are not too heavy, and they have all of these features. Pretty good boot. Comfort wise, Tachyon is a good boot, don't get me wrong, but it has for some people it might be too light and not enough protection. Tanikas is a good balance, similar to this. This, I think, is better than Tanikas. I think if you guys let me know in the comments below if you want to see that video, if you want me to make a comparison of this versus the Tanikas, because they're very, very similar. And I just cannot tell right now if people are considering both. But if you are, let me know, and I'll try to get my hands on both again and review them back to back together. But this is really, really good. Of all the things, if I had only one department to choose from, combat boots, military boots, that would probably be my choice, only in CSWP version, because I think if there was drainage vents in these, I would go with this. Just because I prefer something that is not waterproof but dries quickly. Because there are no drainage here, I would say might as well you get a waterproof version. Might as well, because what's the point of getting these if they don't dry quick? No point. But overall, really, really good stuff. And the very last criterion here is the criterion number 8, price. $160 currently on Amazon. The link is in the description below. Maybe you will be able to find them cheaper somewhere else. I don't know. If you do, let us know in the comments below. It will be helpful for everyone. It's just great when community comes together and shares the stuff between each other. Is it pricey? Yes, it's definitely on the pricier side. I would say 120, 130. I would be definitely go ahead, buy them. 160, a little bit on the pricier side. There's a lot of competition in that price range, like them, same Denair, Tanikas. And a few other, obviously there's Bates, there is Zephyr, Lova Zephyr, Under Armour, Jungle Rat. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of options whenever it comes to that price range. And I have reviewed a lot on this channel, so check them out. Maybe you'll find something that you like more. But if you are looking at these specifically, you're not going to be disappointed. I would say probably go with a waterproof version though. Let me see if the waterproof version is the same price. Probably going to be a little bit more expensive. Obviously it's going to be just a little bit heavier. Keep that in mind. And yes, it is actually $20 more expensive, so it's $180 currently on Amazon. You know what? I'm going to put 2 links in the description below for both, for this and for the waterproof version, just in case if you are considering that. So let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about this review. What do you think about this boot? If you have any requests, again, drop them in the comments below. If you found this review useful, please consider subscribing. It's very helpful. And if you want to support me even more, my Patreon link is in the description below. Support me through that, and I will be able to bring more quality content to this channel. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.